friends. So I'm going to speak to you a little bit off the cuff today. I usually don't like doing this because I feel like you run the risk of sounding like Kanye, which is kind of crazy. But one, I just feel like I need to speak. Like there's been so much going on. I need to get it out. And that's one of the first little nuggets of wisdom here is that you need to get stuff out. I heard this theory recently that the opposite of depression is expression. And now I'm not a licensed medical professional, but I think when you're dealing with very mild forms of depression, maybe even deeper forms of depression, that expression is going to be very helpful. I think once you get a little deeper and you've already kind of ingrained the depression in your neural pathways, you're going to need a lot more than just expressing yourself. But if you're just mildly depressed, if you're just kind of apathetic right now, maybe just a little bored, I would challenge you to find where in your body, where in your being, there's energy that needs to come out. For me, obviously, it's through speaking, and that's why I'm making these videos, and I hope that they're helpful for you. Like I mentioned in my previous video, they're very therapeutic for me. So do whatever it is that you need to do to heal yourself, and you'll find that you can actually help heal other people as well, right? So that's the first thing. I need to talk. Second thing is I want to talk a little bit about false starts. So recently, if you've been watching some of my videos, even if you haven't, I have talked about how I want to launch this project starting first day of summer. And essentially what I want to do is, instead of getting up first thing in the morning and preparing for work, I want to get up first thing in the morning and play. I don't think it's something that very many people talk about, and I think we need to change that. I think as we get older, I don't know, everything is so fucking serious. Even me, I'm so serious at work. I'm pretty sure behind my back and even in front of my back, I get called a bitch. I'm really serious there, but I have really high standards, and I like structure, and I like growth and scale. And in order to do that, you've got to have some protocols, and some people just like to fly by the seat of their pants, and I'm not really down with that. But anyway, I digress. The point is, the way I was thinking about it last night is that it seems like the older we get, the more we feed the adult of our being. I don't want to go too deep into gender roles, but in the bit that I've studied about gender, it seems like men more than women have these really fragile egos, and there's something about needing to build themselves up every day. I'm a man. This is how, and it seems like the older generations of men tell the younger men, act like a man. And it's not to say the older women don't also instruct the younger women on how to act. I've had many women in my life, many teachers, for instance, that would say, that's not ladylike. But there's something about the female ego that's not that fragile. But the point is that, similar to those gender roles, I feel like we have these chapters of our life roles, and how we feed this like adult, like, oh, I've got to be mature, I've got to be serious, I've got to be an adult, and we're every day feeding that adult. And I know I suffer from that sometimes too. I think perhaps if you ran into me on the street and you saw the way I dress sometimes, and maybe even the way I speak. I work in hospitality, I worked in service and retail, so I feel like we don't always act our age. We act a lot younger than we are. But I like that. Although sometimes that social pressure kind of kicks in, and I'm like, oh, I should be acting a certain way, and I should dress a certain way. And I do sometimes, like, change my whole fucking wardrobe, and I'm like, no, I gotta fucking be more serious and this and that. You know what? Fuck that. No. Every day we're feeding this adult. Every day we're trying to be better at being an adult. But I think what we fail to recognize is that inside, you didn't go from child, and then come out of that cocoon, and like, we're not like butterflies where that whole skin just came off and now we're in a whole different body. The child is still in the adult. The child is still in there. And I don't think we feed the child. I don't think anybody is talking about this, or at least, I don't know, this thing's supposed to be spying on me. Anything it hears me talk about, it shows me content, and it hasn't shown me anything about being more playful, about feeding the child inside of us. If there's one of the first things I ever learned from working with some shamans is that, what was it? Like, the number one thing that causes people to get old and to essentially become walking dead is not dreaming, is not being in touch with your dreams. And now there are certain ways that you can reactivate your dreams if they've been dormant for a long time. Not all of these methods are legal in the United States, but they're legal in other places, and in some states. But I think there are other more sustainable ways as well. If you haven't already noticed on my channel, and I mentioned I work for an organization that sells THC and THC products. I know it's not for everyone, and it's not sustainable, right? So I offer you another way to reactivate your dreams, and like I said, to feed that child, to awaken that child inside of you, and that is through singing and dancing, and what other play, manifests from that. I'm not saying you have to sing and dance, but once you start to move your body and it recognizes, hey, I'm in a safe space to express myself, like, you'll notice it'll start to do things on its own. Again, for some people, that child has been dormant for so long, those dreams have been dormant for so long, sometimes you need a little bit of a jump start. But if that's not your style, then you're gonna it's gonna take some time. It's gonna take some time, right? And so I wanna offer people this opportunity to get up in the morning and play. And we'll go into our next segment. Why is it so hard? I love singing and dancing. I love my music. Do I want to blast it, first thing in the morning and like kick my body into full gear as soon as I jump out of bed? Not really, but it's so much fun. You'd think it's so much fun. Why don't we just get up and do this? The answer is, I don't know. I said, starting first day of summer, I was gonna get up and I was gonna dance, and I did. I did it the first day. And then the second day, I just fell into my old habit. I was just like, And I'll tell you what my old habit is. It's pretty much just like I get on the computer, I get on the iPad, and I love creating processes. I love getting really clear about things, but things change a lot. So you can't change the process every day. You can't work on process and planning every day. Sometimes you just gotta fucking get in there and do it, right? So, but here's the synchronistic part. Again, if you've been watching the videos, you've gotta try to keep your vibration, your energy levels high so that you can have more of these synchronistic moments, right? So I said I was going to do this thing. I did it one day. The second day, we'll talk about false starts. But here's the crazy part. It's that an acquaintance, somebody I haven't spoken to in like 9 months, called me. And of all the things he asked me, he asked, "Oh, are you exercising at home?" Which isn't 100% dancing, but you know, for sake of synchronicity, we're like, we're taking this as a synchronistic moment. Like, I never told him I was exercising in my apartment. I sent him a video once of me dancing in my apartment, but that was a long time ago. So I felt like it was kind of like a nudge from the universe, like, you need to do this. And like I said, it's not easy, and there are false starts. And you may experience false starts when you begin your projects, and I don't want you to get discouraged by that. I did the master cleanse once. It's a 10-day lemonade cleanse, and that's when I learned about false starts, because I started it. I would do 1 day, and then the next day I would eat. I would do 2 days, and then the third day I would eat, and I was like, fuck. And I became a little discouraged, and then I just kept trying again and again and again. I just kept starting from day 1, and eventually I did the whole 10 days. And if you want to know more about that, I would definitely love to make a video about that, because that is something I never thought I would be able to do, and it's such a beautiful feeling once you get past the hunger pains. Oh my God, I felt like I was floating. I felt like I was talking to God. I felt like I was in love. I was just like so light. Again, so that's another one of those things that can help you kind of like lighten your energy, kind of bring you to a higher vibration. And damn it, I wanted to say one more thing, and I forgot. It was about getting discouraged and about the false starts. Well, when I think of it, I'll make another video. But pretty much the point of this is express yourself in whatever way you feel you need the energy to come out of your body, whether it's speaking, singing, dancing, painting, writing, drawing. Get it out. Think of all the people who have written like love songs, who have been heartbroken, and they've written a song, and how much you love that song and how much that song has helped you. You might think that because you feel kind of not whole, you feel kind of maybe broken, that nobody would find value in that, and I think you're wrong. If you think like that, we want it. We want it all. So share it with us. Number 2, I forgot what. Oh, number 2 is about playing and about feeding the child inside. I think especially if you're like me and you're single and you don't have any kids, and especially if you work at 2 in the afternoon, there's no reason for you not to get up in the morning and just be fucking excited, ecstatic that you're living in abundance. If you are watching this, you have a smartphone, you have access to the internet and YouTube, and you clearly have time to just be sitting around, you know, watching videos online. You are living in abundance. So get up first thing in the morning and appreciate everything that you have. Be grateful, play, be free. Feed that child inside of you. I have like a little weird theory that's like, if you don't have children, then you are the child. So just be free. Okay, and lastly, don't be discouraged by false starts. Okay, so you start one day and the next day you fall off. Get back on, keep going. Eventually you'll hit it, right? And eventually that habit will stick, whatever it is that you want to do, okay? So I hope that this little reflection has been valuable for you. I know it's not easy being out here trying to like adult. I also think you gotta make life work for you. All right, and on that note, I think it's time to go.